What's up, Slayers of the Hunt? This is Dopey back again at The Average Gamer. Wow, this Ares build is an absolute killer. Welcome, Slayers, back to another Average Gamer video. Today I want to showcase a game I have been playing for a long time now, since the time Natasha and Griffin were meta, obviously, for those who know. Now this game has evolved to a different stage over the years with 100 million plus downloads and a big community of its own. Today I thought of showing you guys how you can now play War Robots on your PC, which was originally a mobile game, and no, I am not using an emulator, but the new beta invite for War Robots we get to use to play the game on our PC. Honestly, I have had a few runs and find it fun. I have recorded a few gameplays of the same for you guys to see, but remember, I feel it is in its development stage and hence the gameplay will not be as smooth as you would want it to be. Still, overall, it was a good experience, but still more controls, fine-tuning, and more stability is required. I will now move on to show you guys my graphics settings, which, well, honestly, this game doesn't have many. But as I run it in my mobile, my game runs on best performance here on the PC as well. The game lags a bit, but it is still not as bad. I tried out in the high graphics settings, but the game was not responding too well. Also, I recommend to play the game on a custom match either alone or with a friend to get familiar to the PC controls if you are new, as even I was facing a little issue at the beginning. About the general graphics, I find it good, but the lag encountered during gameplay, as you will see, makes it a little difficult to enjoy the game as you want to. Still, keeping this problem aside, the game is enjoyable and fun to play. I will soon be posting videos on tips for beginners in War Robots and also builds for the experienced players, which I find still competitive in the current meta, and since we already are talking, I would like to give my general analysis of this game. For beginners, if you want a game that includes robots, death matches, and fights, this game is so far best in the mobile gaming. But if you want to rise in this game with a competitive perspective, then let me tell you clearly, it's either going to take a very long time or you are gonna have to put money. Still, eventually most people want to seek entertainment in the game, and yes, this game offers some good fun. The meta of this game changes very fast with every season, with mostly the new stuff always being too overpowered to a point where it's hard to even try to fight them. But over the last few seasons, I have also noticed Pixonic make the game more balanced with respect to older weapons and robots, which you will need to use carefully but can still fight with. Alright, enough of chit-chat, let me put on some gameplay as we discuss on how you can actually have good fun playing this game. Looks like we have a team deathmatch. Personally, I always keep bots in my hangar which are usable in all situations like the deathmatch, beacon rush, domination, and even free-for-all. I like to classify bots and builds in War Robots into three main categories: Slayers, Beacon Runners, and Tanks. Now, Ares build that I am using is a pure Slayer build, which is absolutely insane once the nuke amps charge up. Plus, I feel absorbers are like the current meta, and I found Ares much like an Ophion on the ground. As you must have noticed, I even have a Demeter and an Angler in my hangar. I want to stress on the fact that older robots have as much value and can compete well in the Champions League, but you need to have the right build. By right build, I mean drones, passive and active modules, and event motherships. Weapons and ability come much later in the game, but trust me, if you find it hard to spend you silver and a discount is expiring, go for them passive modules. We will see the Ares shine in a further match. Also, you guys may feel that, for example, like in the current meta, Akakochi is broken. But I must tell you guys, I have killed many Ochos with the Ares, Angler, and even the Demeter. The players not using a meta build need to focus on what I call a counter meta, which focuses on exploiting the weakness in the strong bots. For example, Harpies, Sirens, Fafners can be such overpowered slaying bots. They can take down Ochos, Ophions, and even the Dagons with the right build in seconds. Skyros is a superb beacon runner, including a T-Hawk or a stealthy Loki. We can still have tanks like Fenrir and Shell with the right modules to hold the beacons long enough. It's all about the builds you make. Of course, the meta is always broken, but don't ignore your old robots giving up against the current meta. I mean, look at this Ocho, I can literally keep pounding the reds even though the whole team is targeting me. I will show you guys a few builds which I found very useful as countermeta, which include bots like Typhoon and Scorpion. I haven't even mentioned a Crisis. A Crisis in my idea is a good Slayer, but a liability in the hangar. Any team will try to prioritize taking down a Crisis since it's a well-known Slayer meta. Further, it can't capture beacons, is slow, and well, overall not very useful. Alright folks, it's time to see Ares in action. Remember, Ares is a pure Slayer bot and not a tank. With the right build you will find Ares to be capable enough to take down hardest bots. Another thing I notice players do frequently is to run out in the open, then get hit in a Slayer bot and then blame the meta. This is why I am emphasizing the fact about dividing the bots into categories I mentioned earlier. A tank has a better chance of survival in the open, not a Slayer. You can see the build of my Ares just now. Also, always keep a good situational awareness about the surroundings. Be sure to watch what the players in the other team are using, then plan your approach and tactics accordingly. It is very important to form a plan as to how you want to snatch a beacon or target a metabot with full payload when he is least expecting it, catch him off guard, and finish him as soon as possible. This is where importance of correct passive modules come into use. If you are interested, I will be making a lengthy video as to which passive modules you should invest into, and most importantly, I will be categorizing all robots in the 3 categories I mentioned earlier, being the Slayer, Beacon Runner, and the Tank. If built correctly, one bot can play multiple roles, like being a tank and a Slayer, or a Slayer and a Beacon Runner. Using your mothership is another very tactical option you can use, depending on the type of your mothership. Support motherships which heal can help your bots to further push, whereas with damaging motherships can slay an important target or a group of bots for you, or damage them enough so that you can push in for the finishing move. Modifying your play style, remembering the cooldown of abilities is also very important. In case you guys want me to do a tips and tricks war robots video, please mention in the comments section down below. You must also pay close attention to the position and type of bots being used by your teammates. It greatly affects your plan of action, so observe, recalculate, and then take action that will best suit the situation. Remember the Pantheon, that is the Absorber Shield bots, are great to protect valuable teammates including the Titan robots in your team, but as I said, let's talk about it in another video. Let's see the Ares shine in combat while pushing the mid of the map. Also, if you like the content and would like to see more videos, please do smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, all ideas you have are welcome in the chat below. It would really help me out. Yup, that's why I call the Ares a ground Ophion. Extremely deadly if the person using it knows how to use it. I will be doing a separate video on Ares to describe its capabilities along with Fenrir. In my opinion, you don't really need the newly launched ultimate robots. The old bots do just fine, but one must keep the weakness of your own bots in mind while doing that. A fully charged nuclear amp Ares is certainly deadly, but so are the lockdown weapons. In various builds, I always came to one conclusion, that Ares cannot be billed as a viable cross-tank and certainly not a cross-beacon runner. So, I accepted the fact that he is just a deadly slayer. I will be showcasing more robots in further videos with a complete analysis of the same, so stay tuned for them. Let's watch the gameplay, and yes, please don't give up on older bots, that's my only advice. They just need to be developed and used in a particular way. We will soon be discussing them in another video. See you in the next video, Slayers.